I make movies.
What's up, guys? Today we will be flipping through Action Comics number 388 from May of 1970 with a cover price of 15 cents. And you can tell by this beautiful cover from Curt Swan and Murphy Anderson that there is a lot to unpack here as to what is wrong with this cover. This is not an April Fool's story. And as we know, comics do come out a little sooner than the cover dates. So I'm guessing this issue came out around April, not in May. So let's look at the cover and see what's wrong with it. Superman is wearing glasses. He is letting his hair down a little bit. He does have the Flash's little streak on his wrist. His S is backwards. And if we look at Superman here, then we can look at Bizarro. And Bizarro's S is normal. Everybody's throwing spaghetti. Superman's getting married to Lois. Jimmy Olsen is passed out. Perry White's driving the Batmobile, a red Batmobile. Brainiac is seen here with the DC logo on his chest and has a very familiar hat, which is Mr. Mixie's Pizlik. That's going to be my attempt at pronouncing his name. Supergirl is shown without her cape, and I believe her colors are reversed there. And we do have Cosmic Boy and Saturn Girl. Saturn Girl has a crescent moon on her chest, though. There's Krypto with a streak on his side. There's a one-way pointing up. Argo City being the home of Supergirl. And also Supergirl's wearing kryptonite. So that's what I could point out. Also, we can notice there is a newsstand stamp right there from 3/19. So that tells us this was on the shelves in March. So let's flip through Action Comics number 388. And right away we are greeted to the Justice League. Jimmy Olsen is Green Lantern. There's a tiny elephant there. We have a very Alfred E. Newman looking Aquaman. Superman's even saying what's all wrong here. We have Flash with Hawkman's wings and Lightning Lad's emblem. Wonder Woman's in her old uniform. And Napoleon defeats Grant at Iwo Jima. The story starts off here in space with astronauts looking at Earth, and they notice that Earth is discolored. Also, we should note that this book does not have any credits on it. I've noticed with DC books from this period, or basically early DC books, they don't credit their creative team. So from what I found out, the writer of this story is Cary Bates, and Curt Swan, who is a fellow Minnesotan, he was the artist on this book. Also, Kurt's a very prolific Superman artist. Inker was George Rousseau. He was one of Kirby's inkers back in the day, probably in the 70s, I believe. And the editor was Mort Weisinger, who is the co-creator of Aquaman. Not sure who lettered it, but in the next story that's in this book, Milt Snapin was the letterer in the Legion story. And here we can see that Mixie's Pizlik And Bizarro basically swapped roles. So Bizarro's the smart one and Mr. Mixie's Pizlick is the idiot. Perry White has a direct line to Batman. Sergeant Rock is seen here still fighting in World War II. And we find out that Sergeant Rock was with Lois at one point. Lois is getting married to Superman. That doesn't sit well with him. Here you could buy some movie posters from the time. I think the only one recognizable to me would be Bonnie and Clyde. Now we're introduced to this planet's Lex Luthor and Brainiac. And you can see here Lex's hair. Apparently it gets longer every time he is angered. Yeah, let's see here. Relax, Luthor, you know you have... Oh, let's do that again. Relax, Luthor, you know your hair grows whenever you're excited. Alright, so not angered, it's whenever he's excited his hair gets longer. Alright, Superman gets chocolate syrup dumped on him. He's trying to figure out who does it. And there's a lot of things going on in every page. I was going to say every panel, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Yeah, so this issue of Superboy was going to come out on April 14th. Again, Superman's getting shot at by Brussels sprout with Brussels sprouts. The Legion of Superheroes shows up. Lois wants nothing to do with them. Lois's reflection is Batgirl. Sergeant Rock shows up to sabotage Superman. So all these things that Sergeant Rock has been throwing at Superman, like tomatoes, Brussels sprouts, chocolate syrup. Apparently this planet's Superman, those are his weaknesses. On this page we are introduced to the professor, who we find out is responsible for this duplicate Earth. And in old Silver Age, Golden Age, Superman fashion, Superman decides he's going to build a giant mirror and make a reflection of that planet's Earth and send it off into another dimension just in time for that planet's Earth, that planet's Superman, to come back to his planet as if nothing had ever happened so he could get married to that planet's Lois Lane. And right at the split of the book, you can tell because of the staples, we now have the Legion of Superheroes story. That was written by Jerry Siegel, who is the co-creator of Superman, and penciled by John Forte. And this was lettered by Milt Snapin. So we find out in this story that Sunboy's powers get lost. Sunboy is being awarded the first Legion statue in the 30th century, I believe. Is that where the Legion is from? I think they're from the 30th century. I'm not a Legion guy. Yes, the 30th century. So Superboy, not Superboy, Sunboy is the first of the Legion to receive a statue in Metropolis in the 30th century. There, we got it. But he has to melt it because it's going to tip over and could possibly kill people. And then we find out that Sunboy is going to lose his powers or has lost his powers. And they try everything they can. So with an atomic reactor and with a volcano, I believe, a volcano simulator of some sort. And still nothing. They cannot get Sunboy's powers back. Here we see Sunboy's powers temporarily return, but not for long. Superboy shows up from the past, Superboy being Kal-El, Superman. And they're doing their best to get Sunboy his powers back. Here Sunboy is getting kicked off the team, which this dialogue is makes the Legion seem like a group of dicks. Superboy, not Superboy, no, it's Sunboy. Sunboy's watching everything on the monitor. When Bouncing Boy tells Sunboy that he's got to return the monitor because it's Legion property, then we're shown back to Craniac's, I want to say that's how you pronounce it, Craniac's jail cell. He was the villain at the beginning of the story that was fighting Sunboy. He escapes jail, he wants revenge on Sunboy. Here we see an ad for some airplanes for $1.25 for 166 planes. $1.49 for 102 ships. Okay. Sunboy gets attacked by Craniac. And then we have a weird jump. Yeah, this does not make any sense where that connects. There's no clear transition there. But Sunboy goes to another planet to find a Kryptonian fire dragon that's going to give him back his powers. And it does. It was just a theory, but it worked. Obviously, because why not? Old comics. Let's wrap things up in one issue and not stretch it out for 20. Here we see some ads for The Adventures of Jerry Lewis and Date with Debbie on sale March 17th and March 24th. Some coupons for Palisades Amusement Park in New Jersey. Then we have the mailbag, which was a thing back in the day quite frequently, not so much today. Sunboy's gonna go save the Legion from Craniac and his device that's going to take down the rest of the Legion. And here we see the Legion wondering how Sunboy got his powers back. And he explains it. And here we find out that Superboy and Cosmic Boy were robots. That's why they weren't able to help out with Sunboy's powers. And we see that they stayed in the past so they could be there for Pete Ross's birthday. Sunboy is welcomed back into the Legion. And here we see a beautiful advertisement for Teen Titans number 27. On sale March 12th. That was it. Now we get 2 pages of ads, the back cover, inside back cover, and then the back cover features an advertisement for old Aurora model kits, being monsters, with a very limited color palette. So there you have it. Action Comics number 388 from May of 1970. I don't know if this was ever reprinted in any form. Probably was. Might be a little harder to come by. So you might have to do some digging. And you probably could pick this issue up at a decent price, depending on the condition. It doesn't go for too much. It is in the double digits, obviously. My copy's got some little nicks in the spine here. Not the best copy, but from what I remember, I don't think I paid anything for this. If you liked the video, go ahead and leave a like. Leave a comment if you have any questions or if you want to see anything in the future. Thank you for watching, and until next time.